Hello everyone, I'm Michaela Fitch and welcome to the second episode of our little quarantine gardening mini-series here at ChildLine. With this series, I'm steadily attempting to grow my own humble garden from kitchen scraps, and I'm recording the process so that you can follow along or maybe even try it yourself. Every Tuesday in April and once more in the first week of May, a new episode will be made available on ChildLine's Facebook page. This week, we're doing peppers. I happen to have a couple bunches of sweet pepper seeds and one bunch of Scotch bonnet seeds. Somehow, I didn't have pimento seeds. Strange, I know, but that's okay. This is about kitchen scraps and using whatever it is that you have. So if you happen to also have pimento seeds, feel free to use them in the same way that we use the peppers that you will see in this video. But before we get started, we can take a look at what we already planted in last week's episode and how those plants are getting along. If you recall, we planted Thyme, shadow benny, and pak choy. So let's have a look at how they did. As we can see, the Thyme and shadow benny are doing very well after being planted. It has been about a week since they've been put into the soil and they're looking quite healthy. And we're just going to continue to look out for them, pluck out any weeds that we see. As you can see, there's a few weeds in the back that I'll have to get after recording this footage. And we'll just keep watering it every day and keeping an eye on it. They're doing quite well. So next, on to the pak choy. So just as a little recap, this is what the pak choy looked like when we first planted him into the soil. Now let's show you what he looks like today. So unfortunately, the two pak choy that we planted last week have died. However, this happens sometimes, such is life. Sometimes you plant something and it doesn't follow through. That's okay. We could just try again if we get some more, or try again with a different plant. No worries. Now we can move on to our peppers. And we have three little bunches here. The two on the left are sweet pepper seeds. All you do is just cut out the parts that you normally use for cooking and just don't throw away the bunch of seeds that's left behind. Keep them in a bowl somewhere on your counter until you're ready to use them. And the little tiny bunch more on the right side is Scotch bonnet seeds. So if you're touching these, be careful not to put your finger in your eye or anything like that. Just like in our last video, we're going to prepare a certain area of soil for our pepper seeds. But this time we're going to do it just a little bit differently. We're not going to worry so much about loosening up the soil and digging out all of the grass. Once the soil is relatively moist and somewhat clear of any big grasses or weeds or any type of debris, we can start using it. For these seeds, we're not going to be doing anything too fancy or too special. Just simply hold a bunch in your hand and very gently crumble them together and scatter the seeds across the patch of soil that you've chosen. However, note that we have marked a line in the soil to separate the sweet pepper seeds from the Scotch bonnet seeds, so that you know which one is hot pepper and which one is regular sweet pepper. From this point on, simply keep them moist every once in a while with a little sprinkle of water here and there, but otherwise don't mess with them, just let them do their own thing. As a little bonus, I also had some leftover cuttings of broadleaf thyme, and this plant grows very easily and actually it grows very wildly. Anyway, you probably planted it's probably going to grow into an insane bush, so it may be best to put it in an isolated area where you don't mind it spreading out a little bit, because it will. Now in planting these, if you are using any kind of tools, anything sharp or heavy, remember to get your parents or an adult's help in planting them. However, it's completely unnecessary to use any tools really. In planting this, it's easy. Really just dig a little bit of the soil and wedge the cutting into it, and it should start growing pretty well from there. You can do this with your hands. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'd just like to remind you now that ChildLine is available 24/7 for both parents and children, and our services are completely free and confidential. Our number is 800-4321 or 131. Follow us on our social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You should also visit us at our website at childlinett.org.